You might have wondered why you see some soldiers with spurs wrapped around their boots. No, they're not saddling horses, but they're part of an Army cavalry unit. Lieutenant Colonel Keith McKinley, commander of 171 Cavalry, explains the hardships a soldier must face to earn the right to spur up.
The Spur Ride is the culminating event in which a scout transitions and joins the organization. He completes a series of tests and gates, and once that scout is complete with the Spur Ride, he earns the silver spurs, and he's truly integrated as part of the squadron.
Basically becoming part of the unit, and the fellow soldiers who already have their silver spurs are basically testing the new soldiers and making sure they're capable of being a cavalry scout.
The board we use to test their knowledge, their skills, etc. Kind of what we did is we did a different approach. We used our board to examine what are they thinking, how is the scout thinking. We threw a lot of ethical questions at them, used it more or less as a back brief to see how they were going to operate throughout the evening and how they were going to work as a team. There's a total of 8 stations, so a scout would move from checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2, for example, cover anywhere from 2 to 4 miles.
Up-paced marching, non-stop, kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty tough, but worth it. My feet were swollen and they started to hurt. I rolled my ankle probably 3 or 4 times throughout the night.
Once he got to that checkpoint, he was instructed to do a individual task. We picked the worst piece of terrain out there with some mud, had a vehicle that was simulated down for maintenance.
Truck had been broke down in a puddle, and we had a Humvee that was operational, and we had to hook it up to a tow and also hook it up to chains.
The LRAS scout was required under a time constraint of 2 minutes to put the system into operation. Once the system was in operation, he was to identify 2 targets, providing the distance and direction. And then the last event was to tear the system down and put it back into load configuration.
Disassemble and reassemble all those 3 weapon systems, the 249, the 240, and the M4, and be able to perform function checks on them. I was actually pulling security on that one, but our guys went in there and they kicked butt during that station. We went through a scenario where we found weapons and we had to call it up. 3 to 5 second rushes, we had to do those, and we had to high crawl from a light pole to another light pole, probably about maybe 100 feet. It was actually pretty tough for me because I happened to be the RTO on that station, so I had the radio on my back. So that was probably my least favorite of all the courses.
Under our doctrine, scouts are supposed to think on the battlefield. Scouts are small, nimble organizations that move forward, and the report that scout sends back, what he sees, what he senses, drives the whole brigade.
I want to be part of the Cav unit. I want to be respected. It's a great pride, really. I mean, I've never done anything like that before in my life where I had to walk that much and spend a whole night out just walking and doing courses. So to be able to accomplish that and earn respect, I mean, amongst other people who have their silver spurs, it's a great feeling.
Today, the investment we put into that young private 3-4 years from now when he's in Afghanistan, that'll be the squad leader that'll be leading men in combat.
For 1st Brigade Combat Team, Fort Drum, New York, I'm Sergeant Christopher Rosario.